LeBron James will miss at least the Lakers' next 2 games as he continues to recover from a high ankle sprain. I'm Robin Lundberg here with Ben Pickman. And LeBron, Ben had said that he will never be 100% again. And a lot of people have run with those comments. I've actually seen him say similar things in the past. I think those particular comments are being overblown because he's talking about the toll of his career. But this injury has obviously taken a toll. And when he went down, I knew it was significant. One, because high ankle sprains can take a long time to recover from. And two, you could just see it in his face that he knew that was a real injury. And it may be a situation here where this is simply a wasted opportunity for LeBron and the Lakers because he won't be healthy.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it's derailed the Lakers season. Now, at the time of the injury with both James and Davis out, we wondered, would they fall into the play-in tournament? And for a while, it looked like the Lakers role players were actually keeping the team afloat. But the early returns on the AD return and, of course, LeBron's return have not been promising. And suddenly it looks increasingly likely that injuries are going to prevent this team from the chance to repeat as NBA champions, right? You look at the Lakers. Nothing is guaranteed right now for them. Their defense has been slipping of late. Their offense is, bottom third of the league right now in the last few games. They're one of just 3 playoff teams overall in their last 10 games that has a losing record. This is a season that I think will forever be remembered, besides the oddities of it, as a survival of the fittest, right? In so many ways, you look up and down the league, and so many of the league's best teams have just remained healthy. Think about Utah or Phoenix. Or Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference, they've remained healthy either because of injuries or COVID. The Lakers have not. And when you lose James and Davis for the period that they did, it's, of course, going to make an impact. And, of course, the returns now that they're back, not promising again.
Well, and they don't really have LeBron back all the way yet, right? I mean, that's the important thing here. I've seen people say he's making excuses or anything. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. There are excuses and there are reasons. If we're to look back and say the Lakers don't do what they plan to do, we would know why, right? You would point to it and say LeBron James got hurt. That was the difference. That's when they fell off. Maybe he tried to come back because they were falling in the standings or just to try to get a rhythm for the playoffs. But I think the big picture problem here is you're talking about someone who may need a full offseason to get ready. And then by the time you're looking at next season, he's 37 years old.
Right. And think about their transition between the last season to this one. It was seemingly a matter of weeks, of months. They had the shortest turnaround with the Miami Heat coming off of their finals win last year. And so he didn't even have a full offseason last summer or last year, I guess. And he's not, he'll need it this year, it seems like, to recover. It's so interesting with the Lakers right now. When you think about them falling into the play-in tournament, we look at some of their possible opponents, Memphis, Golden State, potentially San Antonio, and we look at it and say, those are all teams that they should beat. And yet we can't even really guarantee that. Think about some of their recent losses to Toronto, to Washington, to Sacramento, right? Those are games we would typically favor the Lakers in, and those are not guarantees. Now, maybe it's different when the stakes are different or brighter. We've seen LeBron James time and time and time again step up to the plate and play his best basketball when their stakes are highest. But normally it seems like you're 100% close to it in those moments. And right now, as you've said a number of times, Robin, it's pretty clear he is not.